Welcome to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you are watching for the first time and click the notification bell so that YouTube will automatically notify you whenever we do a video like this, and like our videos. When William Ruto came up breathing fire against Uhuru Kenyatta with the allegations that Uhuru had been evading taxes and that most of his companies were exempted from paying taxes, he opened a Pandora's box, and many experts, political pundits, and the media went ahead to scrutinize what is happening in the background ever since he took over power. And the Nation newspaper scrutinized and came up with a very shocking revelation concerning his allies and friends who are also victims of evading taxes. If you check yesterday's paper, the Nation is revealing that ever since William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua took oath of office, we have lost over 15 billion, that is right, not million, 15 billion Kenyan shillings in cases that have been withdrawn without any explanation. 11 of the cases have been withdrawn by the Director of Public Prosecution, Mr. Nordin Haji. Now, when he was pressed to explain why he decided to withdraw these cases, he was saying that most of them were politically motivated. And he was saying that in the past regime, he was coerced to level charges against some of the government officials and businessmen who were supporting William Samoei Ruto. Most of the people whose cases have been withdrawn are now lying in the bed with the Kenya Kwanza government. On top of the list is our Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who had got several cases. The latest one is the 9.3 billion Kenya shillings worth of the case that was withdrawn under abnormal circumstances and no one explained. People like Aisha Jumwa, who is the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Public Service, had got cases running up to 19 million shillings. You could talk of former Pipeline Corporation Managing Director, Mr. Joe Sang, who had 1.9 billion shillings, and many of them. And up to date, many experts are wondering what is really happening. And so when William Ruto pointed his guns against the former president, people were wondering, why can't he put his house in order before he goes for the Kenyatta family? I must say here that anyone who is evading taxes, whether in the previous regime or in this regime, should be condemned. The actions must be condemned in the strongest terms possible. And we should not allow, because Kenya can only run if all of us pay taxes properly. Now, in light of the revelations from the media that over 15 billion shillings have been lost under Ruto's watch, do you think he's morally right to condemn anybody who did not pay tax in the previous regime? Look, ladies and gentlemen, when you allow people in your government to evade taxes and to walk scot-free with corruption cases, you leave a lot of room for speculation. Because number one, people will think that the case against the Kenyatta family is merely a political witch hunt. You all know that President William Ruto and the former President Uhuru Kenyatta were never reading from the same page in their second term of office. In fact, the former president came out openly and started campaigning for his handshake partner Raila Odinga, and he had said in several occasions that Ruto was corrupt, and it was his wish that people voted in Raila Odinga as the next president. Most of the cabinet secretaries in the former regime were aligned to Raila Odinga. Talk of Mr. Matiang'i, Joe Musheru, Eugene Wamalwa. There were several ministers who were supporting Raila Odinga, and they did not want William Ruto to ascend to office. And I think this is what William Ruto has carried into his government, this revenge mission, where now he wants to show the president that I'm in power and I can frustrate you. But when they do this, they lose focus because Kenyans will be waiting for him to implement all the promises that he gave to Kenyans. He will not, as long as he's focusing his energy on things that are unnecessary. We also see a situation where the judiciary has been captured. And it seems to me that judiciary was captured a long time ago. When they thwarted the BBI case, it seems their relationship with William Ruto had started because Uhuru Kenyatta, truth be said, was never darling of the judiciary. Their disagreement began when the former Chief Justice David Maraga threw away his case. And so he became very mad. He denied them. He cut off a percentage of the money that was going to the judiciary, and the judiciary really felt frustrated. So their relationship went sour from that moment. William Ruto saw a gap, a vacuum, and he filled it, and he told them that when I get into power, I will make sure that I replenish your account. And he has done that. And that is the reason why it was very easy even for William Ruto to win the case, the presidential case that was taken to the Supreme Court. Up to date, we've seen a judiciary that is never independent. The independence of the judiciary is questionable because it is the judiciary that is dropping all these cases. And you all understand that when the judiciary is not independent, then the ordinary man has got no place, because it means it's being controlled by the executive arm of the government. And the office, the sacred office of the Director of Public Prosecution, is one that should be scrutinized even further. The holder of that office, the Constitution says that the holder of that office should be neutral and should not be taking orders from anyone. But Nordin Haji has come out in the open and agreed and confessed that he was cajoled by the former DCI, Mr. George Kinoti, to level charges against Rigathi Gachagua and all the officials who are supporting William Ruto. You see, by admitting this in public, he's simply telling us that he is not the right man to hold that office. We need men and women who can stand steadfast in the face of intimidation. And if it were in other nations, Mr. Nordin Haji should have resigned long time ago. Because what makes how can he now convince Kenyans that he's not being used by this very administration, because he has admitted that he can bow down to pressure to the powers that be? If he was being pushed by Uhuru Kenyatta, he can be pushed by William Samoei Ruto. And if you ask me, the DPP is a man who is not fit to hold that office, and he should vacate office with the immediate effect, because he's being used. He's the one who is applying so that these cases can be withdrawn. You cannot tell me that all the cases were being politically motivated. It can never be, ladies and gentlemen. There is also an element of selective justice. At one point, William Ruto is pushing and accusing the Uhuru Kenyatta of evading taxes. Then on the other hand, his own allies are evading taxes. You see, this administration is really full of selective justice. The other day, William Ruto came under very sharp criticism when he alluded to some fact that he wanted to form a commission of inquiry to inquire into the allegations of someone who wanted to kill Chebukati. Yet, when they got into power in 2017, Musando died, but he has never bothered to form a commission of inquiry to investigate what killed Musando. In fact, that has left speculations. In the Jacaranda rally, Raila Odinga said William Ruto is the one who killed Musando. Why? Because William Ruto does not want to act. He talks a lot. He says he wants to form a commission of inquiry, yet the real things that are supposed to be investigated are not being investigated. When a nation is being ruled by unequal measures of law, then we are heading nowhere, because our constitution requires that every Kenyan is equal before the law. We cannot live in an animal farm where some animals are more equal than others, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in light of all these allegations, I think William Ruto has got the golden chance to ensure that he puts things right. Let him stop revenge. If there is anybody who did not pay taxes, they can sit down and find a way of paying tax, because I still insist that everyone must pay tax, but it should not be used as a political witch hunt. I'm surprised that this very body, the KRA, Kenya Revenue Authority, that accused all these people of not paying taxes, are the same people now saying, oh, there was no any culpable wrongdoing. It only tells you that we have a serious state capture, more than the one that we had during the previous regime. What do you think about the new revelations? 17 billion Kenya shillings lost, yet we don't want to look at it. We are looking for someone to avenge. Tell me what you think in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen.